Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first group stage cast of the Winter Cup 2023. I'm your host and one of your casters, Opie Writes. I'm here with Yosh.
Hello, everyone. And yeah, today we do have some interesting matches. People have been getting those on time for finally, people have woken up and started playing games. And I'm actually quite interested to see what those players will show to us today.
Yeah, it's been very nice. For the most part, people are playing their matches with relative swiftness. I am a hypocrite, though. I have not played any of my matches.
How
I
dare you?
can I can I can blame that on being out of the country. So,
If it
uh,
makes you feel better, I haven't played any of my matches either today, so
you
I'm
haven't?
also
You
quite
usually get those
slacking.
done immediately.
I know, right? It's insane. But yeah, today we are gonna be looking at Ytterbijum versus gENTleman, which, well, for
Yes.
starters,
For
is
starters,
an interesting match, honestly, first versus last in most people's predictions, I'm going to guess, because Ytterbijum has been in that group, and that is actually a very fun group because it's almost exactly the group from Summer Cup, where Ytterbijum has taken second behind Screwloose, while gENTleman hasn't actually played before Megalodon Motel, but in Megalodon Motel, gENTleman has shown some promise and has been a crowd favorite, so
yeah, gentleman is definitely one of our newer players, and Ytterbijum is rather strong. So the predictions are Ytterbijum being the favorite in this match, but we always love to see upsets if we can find them. So it'll be interesting to see what gentleman comes up with in this match, if anything, or if Ytterbijum is just gonna shut the gentleman down like most people expect. And getting on in to this first game here, gonna have Ytterbijum spying over here as Red Dress.
what
Uh,
joy.
what joy indeed. By the way, we should probably go over the draft really quickly before we get into the match. Actually, my mistake. The
Uh,
draft, as with all Winter Cups, you have a set of venues that both players pick from, and then there is one band out of each of the venue sets for each player, and then you play the venues that are remaining. So Ytterbijum picked Bullet from Above, which includes such things as balcony, aquarium, terrace, and modern. All of these like really wide open, sniper having a high angle kind of venues. Aquarium, of course, you're seeing it on your screen now, is one of them. Gentleman picked Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which includes Courtyard, Tayen, Redwoods, and Modern. It's kind of got the idea is kind of a mix between the really hard to see venues where you have Tayen and Redwoods and Courtyard and Modern that have these again wide open areas where it's a lot easier to see things happening. So you definitely have a mix in that particular venue set. Gentleman then banned Balcony, which I suppose is unsurprising, although it always makes me sad. And
no
Ytterbijum
one
banned,
has ever banned balcony in the history of SpyParty. What are you on about?
and then Ytterbijum banned Tayen. So that is our draft, and now we have Ytterbijum spying to start us out here on Aquarium. Let's get it going in three, two, one, playing it.
And yeah, how fortunate we are starting in. It's probably one of your first games that you're seeing after returning back to the United States, I presume. And it's on Aquarium, your
Ooh.
favorite venue. So that's pretty nice.
Um, I don't have time to contest Aquarium being my favorite venue because we just saw a delegate cheese out of Ytterbijum to start this game off. Unfortunately, did not get the float at the window, but instead has picked up a green time man to start the game. I kind of like where this is at right now.
Yeah, a lot of early progress, and usually there are a lot more things for a newer sniper to look around at the start of the venue. You have to remember the statues, you have to see if anyone's chaos bugging or something. So yeah, a lot of nice early progress will keep us in check. And we are delegating to Smallman already. That little fella is going to be a very annoying person for the sniper to deal with.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see whether or not Gentleman is on to this purloin. Here it comes. It's gone now. What's the reaction?
Well, no reaction yet. The sniper hasn't seen his least gun, and now we should be moving.
Yeah, now we see some lowlights. Oh, but we are one of
He
the
knows.
highlights.
He
Looks like
knows.
Gentleman figured out the reject cheese from Yitter, and now Yitter feels like, they're in a pretty tough spot, actually. Especially after not getting that flirt, even with the time ad. When the party's narrowed down this early, it becomes such a problem to continue to do any of the other missions that exist in the party. You can maybe try to do inspects into contact, but that's just so incriminating. We swap
And
here.
there's
It's a
a
white
swap.
swap.
I don't think we have enough progress to really finish this game, but this swap might just have killed us if Gentleman knows, and judging by
Gentleman's
that look,
staring
he
at it.
does.
Oh, but does Gentleman know who actually did the swap? Look at that. There was like a little laser shake between Rocker and Red Dress here.
But he does at least know that it's not Smallman judging by that unusual light, which honestly, in this case, might as well be a low light. However,
Yeah,
Gentleman seems to be playing it on vibes, playing it a little bit humble, bringing up some lowlights if need be.
I think that Gentleman definitely has this swap, but it's an unusual way to miss the swap is not knowing exactly who did it. Um, just one of the two people who were nearby that could have done the purloin, I suppose. But this still is a problem because now it's down to effectively potentially two suspects.
And we still need to complete 2 more missions. If it was just one, we could probably try and do some shock walking stuff, some shock shenanigans, so to say, but having 2 missions to do, that is very annoying, and going to statues will definitely not help.
Yeah, Gentleman, perhaps knowing that Ytterbijum couldn't have been done with missions there, decided to delay the shot until that confirmation of going to the second set of statues, where that could have been a mission win countdown. No hesitation, Gentleman, showing up the first game with a nice sniper shot, pretty much catching Yitter on everything.
Oh, most things at the least. And however, it's not just the sniper side that you need to win on. In SpyParty, we are playing on the sniper side and the spy side, and the spy side is usually harder.
Yeah, the spy
So
side does tend to be harder, even on a venue like Aquarium, which has quite a bit of shark help, you might say. But we'll see if Gentleman can actually make a lead here against the favorite. That would be a very interesting way to start off the set. But Ytterbijum is not to be, dismissed on the sniper side. And we'll see what happens in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
well, let's see indeed. Mom is gonna be moving right towards the sniper, moving into one of those side conversations. Not too much to do at the start of the party. Such a different game from the first one.
Yes, indeed. We have a pretty slow start to this one. As you are pointing out, Yosh, it's very different to our last one. But, if the entire party is... Oh, never mind. We have a quick early contact, which actually is a pretty good one for this early on. You usually don't see early contacts being that strong. But Gentleman evaluates his party and says, despite the fact that early contacts make it harder to get away with things later on because of the lowlights being there for longer and, fewer suspects for the sniper to look at, the fact that it's only 3 people out in all of Aquarium, I think that's definitely a good contact.
Would definitely expect the newer spies to be slightly slower because of just general shakiness, maybe some fear of the laser even, but Gentleman definitely not the newest person in the shoot. It's definitely not his first rodeo, so
Yeah.
being able to contend and going to the stashes right now for some inspects, I presume.
Yeah, the only downside to this kind of early contact here is that, by definition, the people who are out for contact are pretty much the only ones who have done anything in the early party. So lots and lots of very low threat characters in this party right now. We've seen a couple of characters go to like statues and books since then.
And the Ytterbijum.
Ooh, another contact. I'm not sure how much I like this. This is gonna let off a lot of lowlights.
On the other hand, it might make some people seem more suspicious if the sniper is tracking those, but unfortunately for gentlemen, it doesn't seem like Ytterbijum is putting too much stock into who has a real and who doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think if your opponent's paying a lot of attention to contacts and exactly what's happening, you might even net a low light there because you were in with the same double agent twice, and there doesn't appear to be a reason otherwise for you to contact. Um, I thought there might be a bug there, but no firing that bug. No highlight, by the way, for inspect completions. I'm wondering what Yitter is highlighting for. I think we did see bar highlights earlier on, so maybe that's what it's being used for, and just no one's gone to bar.
Jen actually seems to be kind of honest with his pathing, right? We went to statues and then we went to the conversation to flirt and then we went to the statues and then we are back here flirting. 85% on that mission, so one more will do the trick. And
Yeah,
then it's just the fourth. Well,
as aside from that, contact, the second contact, this is a very kind of standard game to be playing on gentleman's side. We have the option for potentially some shark cheese, maybe with a purloin, maybe with a bug. In fact, the ambassador is in an area where you could get a bug by and walk with the shark when it comes across the other direction. But unfortunately, our ST leaves. We need to be in mission win countdown when that happens, and I don't think it will because ST is going to green books, and now there's 40 seconds left.
ow. And that means that we can't really go to the bookshelf to flirt, but we can't even go to the bookshelf to bug either. And the timer is running out. The beeps are going to be starting in 1, and there they are.
Yeah,
So, not quite sure what our angle is out of here.
25 seconds left. Not looking very good for Gentleman. Gonna need to find something. The ST comes next to us. It's gonna be a big help in getting our missions done. Maybe it's a crash bug. Maybe it's gonna go run to the bar and purloin. That looks to be the option for Gentleman. Can we get this off in time? I think we will, but can we survive it is the big question. Purloin in the guest list. 10-second countdown. No. Ytterbijum finds the shot.
Doesn't even wait for the overtime here.
I think that's probably smart. You don't really want to, when you're this sure, you don't want to worry about potential shark getting in the way, potential dances during overtime, and even at like 4 seconds, right? Sometimes latency can be a concern with overtime. So taking the immediate shot, very good from Yitter. And we see the first venue of Aquarium being tied 1-1 by the snipers. So, no advantage to either player right now, but Ytterbijum looking to find some advantage, and Gentleman looking to upset. Starting on Courtyard here is our next one. So another pretty high sniper angle for this one. We have General for our next our next spy.
Yes, indeed. And as we all know, Kotyat is a famously spy-sided venue, so Ytterbijum will definitely be looking to find some points and start rolling up the advantages against a newer player. Shall we start?
All right, in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And I'm just going to point out for our new reviewers, no, Courtyard is not traditionally spy-sided. However, this setup of Courtyard does have a few more guests and just a little bit less time, and Ytterbijum starts out this spy game similarly to the last in getting more time on the clock, so really counteracting the less amount of time we have, and now we just have more guests.
And the red test, a good all send smallman around strategy, which might actually be even better in this competition compared to others, because in this competition we do have both the 3 out of 7 Kotyat and the 4 out of 7 Kotyat in the venue pools. So
Yes, this
there
is
is
the
a chance that gentlemen might become confused and shoot earlier than they need to.
Yeah, it's very important to know which Courtyard you're playing. This one is the 4 of 7 with slightly less time than standard and definitely a few more guests. I believe it's 3 more guests than standard, which does make the sniper's job a lot more difficult, even with a venue like Courtyard where you can see a lot and you have a very high sniper angle. Ytterbijum setting up next to the ambassador here. I don't think it's too close. No, it is. It's just barely too close. Not quite in that golden range where you can still standing bug without moving the ambassador away from you.
In the meantime, while I was talking about venue sets and such, Ytterbijum does get away a banana bread. Unfortunately, it does banana bread away the small man, which I definitely would have expected that to be a strategy here after the red test, but it does seem like the red test was just an A little bit of an oopsie on the side of the spy.
Yeah, doesn't look like we're trying to frame our seduction target here, and the power of Smallman is rather muted on Courtyard.
I mean, you say that, but when you are playing one of the taller characters in the party, you can't just body block the small man 4.
Yes, be the AI
So,
for the Smallman spy. It's a fun little strategy that you can use. Although snipers might sniff that out if they see you together a lot. In this case, though, Yitter not trying to do anything of the sort. We're actually playing a pretty slow game at this point, despite the early time ad. We're down to only 1:30 on the clock, and we only have the contact, only 39% flirt. We need to get moving if we're going to be winning this game.
well, the flirt percentage is gonna move up to 90, but you are correct. We still are due to go to the statues, and we still need to find out that mythical fourth mission on Kotyat.
Yeah, it might be swapped because look at this. This is partially the effect of the higher guest count on this version of Courtyard. We're seeing a lot of AIs go to statues at the moment, but
The list is
it's a
taken.
white purloin. It's a white purloin.
The Kotyat classic, the white purloin into death. Let's see if gentleman gets it. Yes, he will.
Wow. Gentleman has been very on top of all of the just kind of every major mission so far. It's it's something that we like to see out of our snipers, just kind of being ready to shoot, especially for these white purloins. But with newer players, you don't often see this much confidence, and just the kind of play I'm seeing out of Gentleman Sniper, really impressive so far.
Well, let's see if gentleman can get some advantages from for himself. Pick in general as well for his
Another
Kotyat game.
general. All right. Well, we can get that going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I mean, I'm not sure if you've heard, but some people have been saying that General is a pretty good spy. So as far as those picks go, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, General has a big upside, and that is the walking bug. Very, very subtle arm movement, hard to see a lot of the time, and especially if it gets kind of blocked by other characters' bodies, you're just not sticking out that much. The downside, of course, is that he is rather tall, and taller characters tend to be a bit worse, just because there's more mass, easier to remember where you've been, easier to see
And easier to
sometimes.
shoot when it comes down to it, honestly.
Yeah, true. Absolutely true. Harder to dance with General than Smallman. That is for certain. An early flirt cheesing out of the conversation, but not landing too far away. So our flirt cooldown's not quite done yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have decided to leave preventing Queen from flirting with us, but on the other side, we do get to spend some time in this
Ooh,
empty
this could be
conversation
a
before.
nice bug, potentially. I think we're a little bit too close, though. We're going to move the Ambassador away from us, unfortunately, so we're not going to get this bug unless we go for it now. Yeah, there it goes. Ambassador leaves.
At least we get a flirt right before the seduction target leaves, which also does help. In the same way that you are choosing, the seduction target is moving away from you and reducing that cooldown even faster.
Okay, briefcase here at 1 minute 30. It's a difficult. We don't get the
Ow.
difficult. That's going to hurt a lot. Now we're going to need something to continue. We just are running low on time once again.
Entering right next to Queen.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an 80% flirt to reward us for it. Unfortunately, not 100. And our progress is actually a lot worse than Ytter's was by that point of the game. Ytter has had a banana bread and
Yeah.
was thinking about inspects, but
Yeah.
now we need to think about inspects and the banana bread and
Yitter
the
also
fourth
did have a
mission.
time ad, if you'll recall, at the start of the last game, which did help quite significantly, but not enough to win. Are we going to be missed at these statues, actually? Hold on.
That would be great.
Oh, we went for a bug
Oh,
and
we're
it
trying to
missed!
bug. Unfortunately, the angle does not allow us to get it because the double agent stands in the
Contact.
good spot that we
Oh,
would
we
have
go for a
wanted.
bug, but we're too far away. It's
And
going to
we're
be a
going
green
for a purloin,
purloin.
and this one is actually going to be green. Oh my god.
And I
The
don't
chain
know
is
if we
on.
were risking at statues is the thing, right?
The list is taken immediately. Let's see, the list is gone. Ytter should
Can
be
Yitter
able
find
to
a
see.
shot?
4, 3, 2. No, doesn't seem to be
No.
on it.
And just, I think Yitter failing to find a rotation while we're at statues, suddenly we were such a low suspect, because look at this. right? If you don't think that General has been to statues, you're mostly watching Sorry for this swap, right?
Um,
And so when the purloin goes, it's a lot to figure out in 10 seconds when you're trying to watch for the swap instead, and that's where your attention is. It's a lot to pull your attention from the swap, from that, to figure out, okay, do I need to shoot someone, and who is that if it's the case? And gentleman, I think steals one away a little bit there from Ytterbijum. Ytterbijum just not there on the rotation, and now gentleman up 3-1 against the favorite.
in the lead. And now it's just a matter of holding on, just a matter of getting every single sniper game on, and you shouldn't be able to lose if you win every single sniper game. However,
it's easier
that
said than done. Although Terrace is one of the more sniper favored venues, especially out of our 3 of X venues, is one of the more sniper favored ones there as well. But it's still again no small feat to win all the sniper games. So
small venue means that we can get away with slower characters, which means that Ytterbijum will pick Sari. A very great stand-in bug, but let's talk about the game and not the character, shall we?
yep, let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I mean, you are right. The smaller venue allows slower characters, and this slow character has a lot to recommend her as a spy. Got a great standing bug, as you mentioned. The walking bug isn't too shabby either. So very subtle animations in general out of Sorry.
Yep. And so far, not really an opportunity to showcase those. A lot of people are away from the conversation, and Terrace, I think, is the one venue where you really can get away with perfect banana breads quite often. So doesn't really wanna banana bread now when so many people are out of conversations here.
Yeah, the only downside to that fact that you can get perfect contact so often is that there is only one double agent, and it is known to the sniper. So there's a lot of information to be gained, despite the fact that maybe everyone's in for conversation. You're still going to be giving away information on who has real. Of course, a spy can use that against the sniper and do an intentional fake during, a perfect BB. In fact, I'm of the opinion that you should always take a contact, no matter which conversation you're in, as long as it doesn't let off any lowlights. Because if you, there's no reason not to if you're in the real one. You want to do that if you're in the real one. If you're
Yes,
in the...
indeed.
Oh, this is close enough for a bug, by the way.
You do say it's a downside. I say it's straight off. The bug is here, but the hand is right on screen. And gENTleman gonna wait out until after Twin stops doing whatever the hell he's doing right in front of us and gets a clear sightline and gets a very clear shot.
I mean, if you're looking for it, that bug is, pretty clear. But at the same time, you do have to be staring at it, right? Because if you're looking somewhere else in the party right now, it's actually really hard to see that. That's one of, the big things about subtle animations. Animations that are big, that are very different from normal animations, they're going to break the flow of kind of your peripheral vision. They're going to catch your eye. Sorry does not catch your eye when you're looking somewhere else for this bug. But gentlemen, on top of it, it was visible, but it was a great, it's one of those scenarios where it's really important to actually be watching it, because not everyone remembers how to, not every sniper is going to have the presence of mind to think Ambassador just joined this conversation. It's pretty low suspicion for the characters around, but I'm still going to watch this bug.
Well, to the patient goes the spoils, and gentleman gets a sniper win. Let's see if he can increase his lead, shall we?
Yeah, up 4-1, which I don't think anyone would have really expected going into this match. Gentleman just is newer, and Yitter has, performed quite well in the past in competitions. This is, Yitter's no pushover, so the fact that Gentleman's doing this well, I'm excited.
Well, Sick is the spy. 3:15 are on the clock.
Yep, and let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I will be honest, I actually came into that group thinking that Ytterbijum will be the first by a long shot compared to Akoft and Calamay because of their Summer Cup run-ins, and I should know about those. I was in that group as well. And gentlemen, just being new, but on further inspection, the wins that Ytterbijum had over Calamay and Akoft were not actually that big, as big as I remember, because he really felt like he was a very big threat, but on further inspection, the cracks are starting to show, and Gentleman so far is exploiting them quite nicely.
Yeah, sometimes those results can be a little deceptive, and those matches closer than the scoreline indicates, and that might create an inflated perception. I still don't think it's that inflated, even for Yitter here. Even seeing Yitter down 1-4 here, I still don't think that the perception is that inflated. We're just seeing Gentlemen play really well.
Oh yeah, definitely better than people would expect after seeing his admittedly quite small list of participations in tournaments. That said, it is a lot but it is a lot easier to become a good sniper compared to becoming a good spy, so I feel like the main issues with Gentleman's play would be showing on the spy side here.
Yes, indeed. Going into the bar here, potentially for a delegate. We do have the contact done with one low light, so not a bad contact at all. Delegate option acquired, one flirt on the board. Going back for our second now.
One of the big issues of Sick is that he's very tall. Not quite sure what advantages he will offer here for it on Terrace, where the sidelines are so clear and there is no way to block anything, but definitely will be a big highlight in the eyes of the snipers. That turban is definitely a big showcase.
Yeah, hard to miss, Seek. Unfortunately, that contact, while being a very nice contact in terms of it didn't let off any more lowlights and it gave more characters real contact, it did delay our flirt long enough for we excuse me, for Wheels to bail on us. And so we had to join again, and now we only have 45 seconds. I don't think we're gonna have time for a delegate here, but there is a really good opportunity for a wrong arm bug, but we don't go for it.
We
I
are
think that would have been
going to the statues. That is going to be our last sip. One thing that I was afraid of is that we wouldn't count the drinks and we'll be left after a sip with a drink in hand, which
fingerprintable
would be a bad
statue. Is that
giveaway.
our plan? Oh, I see.
Doesn't sound like we have enough time for it.
Yeah,
Not nearly
18
enough time.
seconds. We still need to flirt and find one more. 95.
95!
No! Oh, you have to stop nearer your ST.
And we get away with a buck here. It's the path is very bad, but we are going for a
Is it
statue.
gonna
We
be
need to get a last
fingerprint?
second swap. There
Oh
it is.
no! In that game is a bit of a tragedy because we did like 4.5 missions there, Yosh.
And that is magic of Terrace. Because it feels like there is time. It feels like you can do stuff. The venue is small and all opportunities are on the table, but really, especially on the 3 out of 7 variants, there's just not enough time usually.
I think
So you need to be efficient, you need to do stuff.
I think as soon as the ambassador lands here, you really need to start considering doing this wrong arm bug, especially considering Ytterbijum's sniper angle. If you, let's say, like even right here, if you trigger a bug, leave the conversation, and turn around and walk past the ambassador here, that's really difficult to see from Ytterbijum's angle, and that could be your mission that you're done with. So I think that that's a bit of a missed opportunity. From Gentleman not attempting this bug. It probably would have been a very good option. Going for the fingerprints, I think, just comes in a little too late. You need to have at least one fingerprint earlier on in this game to really try.
Or you need to have a very good idea about where that second fingerprint on the venue might be. Speaking of bug, that bug by Gentleman actually wasn't too bad if we don't count the path. Like, there are so many people in between the laser and the spy for it, and it definitely works out. Unfortunately, just not enough time, and the flirt at 95% is gonna hurt.
Yeah,
Either way,
indeed.
Gentleman is still ahead, and we are moving into one of the funnier sniper side venues.
One last thing I'd like to point out is that potentially, if gentleman greens this swap, you can go back and flirt to finish before the swap comes off.
Oh, that would be nasty.
Yeah, that would be interesting
Get the
to have
clock to hang.
seen. But I think Ytterbijum probably still shoots it because hanging clock just gives you so much information. But yeah, let's get it on to Redwoods here. Gentleman still in a slight lead over Yitter, but this is one of those venues that it's really easy to lose a lead on, given all of the trees. We have Ytterbijum on the spy side playing as Pearls, a very interesting choice here.
Redwoods is one of the smaller venues. I think there's just not too much time for a 4 out of 8, but, there are checks and balances, so let's see.
Yeah, let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And it's, I think Pearls is a fine choice on Redwoods, in particular because of the mission density. You can get a lot done in a very short time in a very small space. Similar to Taeyeon as well. Ooh, speaking of
And
getting
we're
a lot
taking the
done.
book out immediately. We aren't gonna straight up book cheese, which would have been potentially way too on the nose. So we're just taking it out and hoping that the laser forgets that we were ever at the bookshelf if they even saw us.
You have nice, cute little book cheese here from Yitter. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Gentleman did have it slightly on screen, but in the first few moments of Redwoods, you've got a lot to watch, especially Bug. It's so dangerous to, with all these trees in the way. So,
And it's also redwood, so you don't see anything in the first place.
all right. 34% on the first flirt here, holding a blue book. I'm certain this goes back into green or red. And here's what I mean about mission density. When you do this and you put back into green or red, you can also get 2 inspects, right? So you have a lot of progress just for 1 book cheese. But no, Gentleman fully on top of it.
Wow. And I'm not sure if that's preparation or adaptation at this point, because remember, Ytterbijum has tried to cheese us on Aquarium as well, with a very early Purloin delegate. So
Yeah, I
here,
mean,
gentleman taking notes, recognizing that his opponent is gonna be cheesing, and punishing them for it.
and I said it's easier said than done to win every sniper game, but that's what's happened so far from Gentleman. Gentleman has not let a single spy game go. That's really, really impressive, especially from a newer player. You don't see that too often. I'd love to see Gentleman, carry that all the way. 6 games of sniper. Of course, nothing is guaranteed yet, but it's so impressive out of Gentleman. I think this player might be our dark horse of the Winter Cup if he continues playing like this. That is so good.
That's a pleasure of Group of Life. There are a lot of
Group
very
of life.
equal. It kind of is. It kind of is. I think it was Group of Life last time around, where between me, Calamay, and Daycoft, anyone could have made it out, and I think here it's no different.
I suppose if your definition of group of life is anyone can make it out, that is pretty good definition, I would say. Ytterbijum, I think people might have discounted Gentleman though just a little bit before seeing the performance here.
You can't discount or you can't miscount a player if you don't count them at all. So here,
Oh,
let's see. Gentleman finally gets counted.
In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
On wheels, nonetheless.
All right. We
So
have a drink in hand, so we can't do any of the fancy cheeses Yitter went for.
Wheels is a little bit of a weird spy to me. Like, he has a low profile, but not low enough to make him necessarily the
I think he's.
standout
I think he's
performer.
actually very strong.
He's very wide, so you can't really dance with him too much, and the lean on the bug is very suspicious and killed many a spy.
Yeah, the bug is a severe downside for Wheels. It's just probably the worst in the game. Both standing, I mean, actually, standing's fine for the most part. It's really the walking bug that is quite egregious. That is the problem for Wheels. But being short like being especially this short and not getting the same level of attention that Smallman gets for that fact, it's a big bonus. You don't feel as suspicious as Smallman, but you still get the benefit of being that short. The downside is that bug, of course, but you can work around that. And gENTleman playing a very interesting game here, going to 2 sets of single inspects, even though you will need to go to a red or green bookcase to finish off the microfilm here at some point. So there's no necessarily like good reason in terms of mission completion to do that in sequence that way, but it can throw the sniper off a little bit. It can maybe make the sniper think, why would a spy do that? And a bit of behavioral points.
At this point, I would love it if gENTleman finished the single inspects with the 3rd single inspect, just to make sure that when we are going to that bookshelf, there's no additional inspects we can get.
Ooh, that's kind of a nice idea, Yosh. Just try to reduce the impact of that mission density by intentionally spreading things out a little bit more, so you get less attention when you actually complete your hardtail. That's a good idea.
The trade-off here being that it will take a lot of time, and we already don't have enough. There's just about a minute remaining, and Ytterbijum is definitely keeping us in the laser zones.
White test.
And the white test.
Oh, but he was watching for bug. He was watching for bug from general.
And now we just need the 4th.
Now, which is going to be contact. It's right here. 43 seconds left. We have plenty of time to wait for a good one as well. Get everyone in conversation. Here comes the contact. And or this honestly, might be gENTleman going up. Another game.
Even a bad one. However, our main suspicious person was General here, if you remember how the bug was watched. And General's just not in a conversation at all.
That shot. I'm really impressed with that shot, actually, because it didn't seem like we were really fully on the microfilm. I think that was just an assumed microfilm. We went to do different bookshelves, and Ytterbijum recognized that they would have missed the actual animation. And in recognizing that, realizes I have to shoot on this contact. That's one of those higher level shots you see from more experienced players when they recognize I could have missed something here, and it's actually very likely that I missed something here, and the evidence surrounding it is enough that I'm willing to take the shot, and it's correct, and it's very impressive every single time. So well done by Ytter, keeping this in within striking distance. Running out of time a little bit. Only 2 venues left. If Ytter wants to win the set, Ytter has to win all 4 of the next games. But had they lost this game to that microfilm, as it seemed they might, it would have been pretty much over.
Yeah, Ytterbijum is running out of chances to equalize, but on the other hand, he's keeping the game close enough together to give himself more chances to equalize. So it kind of balances out in the end.
Yep, and now we have Ytterbijum on the spy side playing as Irishism. We're down 4 of 8. As 5 of 8 has been phased out for a long time. We like this one a lot more. Spies have a much better chance to get 4 missions by than 5. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And not to mention that it is a very, very big venue, so a lot of time is gonna be spent walking around, which is why we are gonna time it.
Once again,
honestly, by that point, I would expect gENTleman to be on it. I think it's like the 3rd or the 4th venue where Ytterbijum is cheesing right at the start.
I mean, Ytterbijum has played a lot of early time ads, and if not early time ads, something happening where we're right-clicking really early on. We've had that cheese purloin on Aquarium. We had the cheese book rip on Redwoods. We've had multiple time ads at the start of these games. Once on Courtyard, once on Aquarium, and now here. So it might be something for Ytterbijum's opponents to take note of, actually. The huge tendency to find something to right-click on in the early game.
The other things that I've noticed watching so many games this Winter Cup is that the spy never just time adds once. If they time ad in one game of the set, they will be very likely to do it somewhere else, and we have seen it time and caught yet, so. Ytterbijum gets away with everything so far, but it's admittedly not too much. Now is the chance to get shot where the animation plays. It is on screen, but it's not seen. It is visible, however, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Not paid attention to, it would seem, in this case. And I think perhaps the blending in to the bookshelf itself with the green dress and the green bookshelf might have helped a little bit. I think mostly just the attention was somewhere else, though.
Well, gonna keep on moving around. The delegate in our hands and the seduction target right by our side. 68% on that one. A little bit of a slower, more measured game by Ether, but on the other hand, we have added time, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah. As far as time elapsed goes, quite a bit. But time on the clock we have plenty of, and now we're going to go for this Delegate Purloin here to RST, and we're going to finish a lot of things here all at once. This can be pretty dangerous if you're not
And we
prepared for
are
it.
getting that second animation transfer while the list is purloined, while the sniper is very confused after the purloin.
Yeah, lots of people
Yeah,
at bar
pretty
here.
nicely done. Oh,
Interestingly
we're actually
enough,
gonna take it
yeah.
out.
Maybe we just want to not be seen with a book and be like have gentlemen think I couldn't have this person couldn't have done it, or we noticed that gentleman's laser kind of stayed still for a little bit with us on screen and we didn't want to do it there.
We are going full onto the corner. It is on screen, it is watched, but is it seen? Doesn't seem so.
Gentleman was looking to the back, looking at Rocker, looking perhaps and Teal there, looking for that microfilm, not looking for our microfilm. So we get away with it. We have 145 to finish off, one more flirt, and for our double agent to get into conversation, please.
The other magical thing that can happen here is gentleman noticed everything and is just waiting for the mission count. Because there is a purloin, there is a flirt, and there is a transfer. And now that's the fourth. So we need to just wait for the book to get put back, and then we can shoot.
Yeah, that is that would be probably the craziest shot of this set if it happened. But I think this is going to be a win for Ytterbijum, finding a way back in. And if
Moment
Ytterbijum
of
can
truth.
hold a sniper, like I think Rocker is much more likely to get a shot right now than we are. Going to another set of statues here as a highlight, I think getting a lot more attention than we are at this point. And the book is being pulled back. I don't think there's going to be any shot.
No reaction.
Very nice game from Ytterbijum here with the Purloin microfilm game plan. Gets one by Gentleman, and as impressive as Gentleman has been, it's more impressive even to find that spy win past them because of how well they've been playing. But that means Ytterbijum is right back in this.
You've fallen behind early, but that doesn't matter too much. It's all about the distance. You keep on being solid on sniper, and eventually the game will give you opportunities. The opponent will give you opportunities, and Ytterbijum is taking advantage here, equalizing if he can win the sniper game.
Yeah, we see another gentleman copying Ytterbijum's spy pick, Irish once again here. Earlier we had two generals in a row.
Ytterbijum is a good player, so why not copy his choices? They can't be too wrong.
Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And now, while Gentleman still does have the advantage, winning a spy game here would still leave Gentleman in the lead, it feels a lot worse suddenly because now it feels like you almost have to win this game because if you don't, suddenly it's just back to even, and you might even be in danger of losing the set.
We are playing 4 games of Modern, if I recall correctly, so that makes it even more annoying.
Is it 4 games of Modern? Right. We had 2 sets that both had Modern at the end. Bullet from Above and Now You See Me, Now You Don't both have Modern, so it is the 4 games in a row of Modern. And if you go down 2 games of Modern and bring it back to even, what's the and the last 2 games of the set to see if you're going to actually win or draw or lose. Every outcome could be possible if Gentleman doesn't win the spy game. what might that do to your mentality, right? It's going to
The
be
most
a big
annoying thing
question.
is that there isn't a big change of pace, there isn't a big swing, there isn't a different venue that you can like say, okay, it's a blank slate. We are playing for the marbles. I don't care. It's 0-0. Everything can happen. While on modern, after losing the first two sets, you are starting to shake a little bit. You have lost those first two games. What makes you think that the second two will go any different?
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind for gentlemen. Of course, all of these, mental problems, potentially these nerves, these momentum swings, all of these could just be nipped in the bud if gentleman wins the spy game. However, we don't have any flirt. We might go for a purloin. I would be very interested to see perhaps a silent game. Inspect, fingerprint, purloin, flirt, but we just still have no flirt. That's such a problem.
The issue with silent games is that you're essentially playing a 5 out of 8, but just without banana bread.
Well,
So,
I mean, I don't think so, right? Because banana bread can be a big downside when you're giving out a lot of lowlights. Additionally, a lot of snipers often use banana bread as a reason to shoot. Like, this is when I'm going to shoot you, is when you do your banana bread. So when that never comes, you can get away with that. So I think it's very different from kind of playing that 5 of 8 without banana bread type of deal, because the sniper thinks it's gonna come and it never does. However, we're slowing down and we are running out of time.
as I've mentioned earlier, it is a lot harder to pick up the pace on the spy. Newer spies definitely tend to be slower because quicker spies get shot very fast, and getting shot on the spy is a very good deterrent from trying that strategy further.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you get down to low time, your execution on things it just naturally has to be a lot more brazen, and the odds of you getting shot for it go up significantly. The fact that we have no flirt is so troubling right now. I don't think we have any time for it. Contact bug into statues is what I'm looking at right now. And just go for a flirtless game. Now that is kind of a 5 out of 8 almost.
Oh, the flirtless game is wild because, like, you have been saying, talking about advantages of not saying the banana bread line, but there aren't too many people who you can get any value out of not flirting against. There are, I think, like 3 people who flirt better in the entire community, which is definitely an art, and they definitely get their fair share of sniper games out of it. But you don't get any value out of not flirting here.
Yeah, I
Usually,
don't think Ytter is going to be one of the people who are going to... What a nice reverse... Like a wrong arm, but Ytterbijum's on top of it.
it's a nice little bug, but I think the setup
Oh, it
has
wasn't
been
a wrong
very
arm.
much.
My bad. I saw from the wrong angle, but it wasn't the wrong arm. But either way, Yitter saw it. Very nicely done. So good
Yep.
shot. And now, again, we're even. And, what does that do to your nerves as gentlemen? You've been leading in this set where Ytterbijum was the favorite coming in. But now it's back to even. And the next 2 games, once again, on Modern, will
Almost
decide the
worse
entire set.
than that's almost worse than being behind the entire set, because when you're being behind, that's the positions that you're expecting, right? When you are ahead, you just aren't sure. You're always uncertain, like, do I even deserve it? People in SpyParty seem to be very often attacked by that inferiority complex. So
Yeah, I think in terms of mentality, it's much easier to be in Ytterbijum's shoes right about now, just because you've been behind so long, and you've had this like time to kind of come to this like, okay, I really need to get back into this. I'm behind. And when you're in that mindset, going to even feels great, but the momentum might have swung back in Ytterbijum's favor. If this is going to be a Ytterbijum 7-5, it would be a tragedy. Well, not for Yitter. A tragedy for Gentleman after how well he's played this set. But, of course, we still have 2 games left to go, and this could be a draw. This could just be a draw.
well, a draw will definitely send the group into disarray. But for now, Ytterbijum is picking up pearls on Modern. 2 games to go. Let's see how they go.
Yep, in 3, 2, 1, planet.
A very slow character on a very big venue.
Yeah, that might be a
I'm a
problem.
little bit scared.
I'm expecting a timeout here, honestly. No, no
Time at
timeout.
2 games in a row on the same venue, nonetheless. Gentleman, if gentleman doesn't shoot a time at here, I would be very annoyed.
Well, it could be green. Okay, can we get close enough for a bug? No, we're not gonna try. We don't want to look suspicious going next to the ambassador, and the ambassador does leave anyway.
We almost kind of cheese flirted here
Ooh.
with.
This is a I think this could be a cheeky briefcase if you just put this right back down. Yeah,
Oh,
Yetter. Yes,
oh
there's a lot.
boy.
I like that a lot because there's a lot going on in this party, and while it's visible, it's going to be one of the things that is kind of at the back of the attention because snipers usually expect to have more time to see who is doing a briefcase, right? You know, usually AIs are going to return it to the, and both AIs and spies are more often going to return that briefcase. And so you have more time to remember, okay, let's check the briefcase. Okay, I'm crediting you print. But if it just goes up and down like that, when a lot of things else are going on in the party, it could just be a clean print.
The other thing is, it's a lot easier to notice things moving things that are standing still. And in spy parties, there's not too much up and down movement, so people kind of tend to filter it out. So
Irish is
not moving left right.
Irish is repeating some the spy actions from last game.
Just going through the motions, of course. A perfect repeat of the last game. That if Ytterbijum gets away with a perfect repeat of a game in the exact same set, that would be.
That would be impressive, but I don't think that's what's happening here because this one's an AI.
Well, the other things that might happen is gentleman's memory catches up with him from the last game, which would be a very unfortunate situation. And another case in which playing the exact same venue 2 games in a row might be a disadvantage.
Yeah, sometimes you do have, you know, that cross-contamination of memory between games, especially when you're playing a lot of games on the same venue. Um, in this case, though, it might be more the problem is that we like to, you know, brains like to find patterns. And when gentleman finds the pattern of Irish standing in the corner right there might be some extra attention paid. But in this case, looks like we do get to see a low light on to Irish, so that the extra attention is no longer there.
That is, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a relief of sorts. Meanwhile, we do have a flirt finished, so only 2 missions left to go. One of them is going to be Prince, the other one is going to be Inspects. Ooh, that's a very
Wow.
quick leave while talking as well, and Gentleman does not forgive that.
Yeah, we
My
also
God.
got bumped through the center of the conversation by Teal here, and I think that just looked so bad. And we were the only highlight in this party that Gentleman was willing to shoot. And Gentleman, despite, you know, having it brought back to even by Yitter in the last, you know, set of Modern, does secure, at minimum, a draw against the favorite in the group.
Well, the only way is up. Gentleman can now get a win. A tie sends a group into disarray, but a win would be even more funny. So I know what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, a win actually with current results would guarantee Gentleman getting out of the group on at least second place, which is huge. I think after pretty much no one, pretty much like all the predictions were having Gentleman not getting out of groups, guaranteeing it at this point already, like that's massive. Before a third match is even played, so very very nice performance out of Gentleman so far. But of course, Yitter still can draw this, and then things get crazy. This is Salmon on Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, the carpet does match the drapes. He's pretty nice compared to that background. So
Yeah, that is something that Pwned mentions quite. Oh, we're going for the immediate book cheese at the start of the game.
Gentleman 13's Ytterbijum yet again, this time around with the cheese, not the spy pick.
In the highest level, like this is probably the most important game of the set at this point. You know, to decide whether it's a winner or a draw. And Gentleman goes for the book cheese, and it works, I think. And that's gonna be huge.
Honestly, love it. at this point, consider what we have just been talking about, right? Your morale is a little bit shot from losing your advantage, right? And it is still the same venue, and your opponent is on paper much better than you. So I actually really like what gentleman is doing here, just pressing the cheese button and sending the game into chaos. Because if you are the one sending the game into chaos, you're the one controlling it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the nerves have probably settled a little bit after winning the sniper game. There's this kind, there's a bit of a mental load off when you think, okay, I'm guaranteed at least a draw, right? I can't do worse than that. And that's, I think, possibly loosened gentleman up here. And now we see this just book cheese, and this could be really dangerous. This could be a quick win. If we get this delegate, go contact, go green flirt for 2 green, and just run the delegate, we could be done within a minute right now.
The thing is, I'm not exactly sure if it's necessarily the best course of action, because the quicker you are going, the further you are on that speed dial, the more noticeable you are, and one cheese that got away kind of guarantees the game, but the more cheeses you do afterwards just increase your chance of being found
Well, I
out.
don't think this is necessarily a cheese. We can send right now and then go up next to our seduction target to try to finish that flirt. And if we did that, we would be done at about 1:40 on the clock. That's really hard to shoot.
Yeah, but people really like noticing moving things. We are trained to notice moving things, and one gentleman is just gonna be running around the venue like a blue hedgehog, just completing missions left, right, and center. It has to be noticed.
All right, we are done with our flirt. One more mission to go. We could actually frame our ST here, because she was just at bar. If we go and take directly, I don't know if we get shot.
Well, there are 80 seconds on the clock. And we are gonna go to the bar. We could have been sent by pearls here, which further increases our chances of success. However, believe me when I say those delegate frames are not necessarily the
Direct
best
take.
thing to do.
Can Ytterbijum find the shot? The
5 seconds to go.
The
We
cheese
are being marked as
transfer.
suspicious.
But Gator doesn't think
No
we have the
shot.
missions, and Gentleman wins.
Oh boy. This is a blast.
Wow.
This is one hell of a group now.
Yeah, and with that, Gentleman guarantees a spot out of the group against the favorite. What a match, honestly. So impressive.
I mean, we've gotten what, 5 sniper victories here?
Yeah,
out
5
of
sniper
6.
victories from Gentleman out of 6.
That is a very clean scoreline.
And it wasn't even, like just the spy timing out or like just kind of, getting something obvious. Every single sniper victory felt like it was just Gentleman on point. Watching everything, seeing everything. It felt like one of those games you see from high-level snipers. All of them felt to some degree like that. It was just very impressive.
I'm seeing Kelame in chat being very happy about that result. Wishing gentleman luck into his next match. Let's check against who. I see.